So I've made a little progress. Far out. Well, this has all happened way quicker than I thought. Well, this has all gone way better than I anticipated. The white cable there coming out, that's for the pulpit navigation lights. So I've made a little progress. I've got the 6mm wire out of that tubing. I've retrieved the string line out of that length of the tubing. The next part is to draw all of this heavy gauge wire cable out of this tubing. Then I will be cutting this at both ends, because I'll actually use this at the ends, but for drawing cable through all of that main section, that's where that conduit will come in very handy. And as I said, this is impossible to draw through otherwise. Well, that was pretty easy. Far out. Well, this has all happened way quicker than I thought. I actually didn't think I'd be able to get this conduit in without some help. I have arranged for somebody to come and give me a hand, but I just started putting it to where it needs to start, here, and it's feeding through. Have a look at this. I'm ready to go through that next bulkhead.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock.
Well, that's it. Done. Now I just have to do the other one. That is fantastic. So here it is, popping out where I want it and where it needs to be. So the plan is, and just to explain, this would have been so difficult to draw the wiring that I need to. This is why I've replaced this ribbed tubing with the electrical conduit. What I'll be doing is drawing through not only the windlass wiring, that big heavy gear, but also 2 lots of other wiring, smaller gauge, to supply lighting, fans, nav lights for different areas, including up here in the V-berth. The reason that I only really need the conduit to stop here is because from this point, wiring will be coming this way, crossing the V-berth on this bulkhead and stopping at a junction box, whereby I'll fit all the fittings to that, connecting to that junction box to give things power. But from here forward, the only wiring that really needs to continue on is the windlass wiring. So I'm going to leave this ribbed loom tubing in place, and I'll need to work out how I'm going to draw that thick windlass wiring through this. But after achieving what I have here, I think the main battle's over, really. So just to point out a couple of things too, I do have the drawstring. At the moment it's taped. That's what you can see here. Under that taping is the fishing line drawstring. The other thing to point out is I was pleased to see nice thick coat of paint in those holes. So all of those holes have got plenty of paint on them.
Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be.
So that's just so I don't lose the drawstring, of course. Now I'll go feed this one.
I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive.
So I'm all ready for a hand to just help me feed it into that conduit. The cables are ready. 2 lots there, 2 lots here. So the one at the top has the 6mm taped and tied to the big windlass cable, and the bottom one only has the 2mm. You can see the size difference there. one's much larger than the other. I imagine the top one will be a little bit more difficult. The bottom one should pull through very easily. It's the top or the bottom one?
Bottom.
Right. Oh, we're here! So the top is going to be a bit harder because you're going to have to straighten that cable, yeah?
Go for it.
When I'm in this town,
Whoa!
beautiful stars, I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can
Well, this has all gone way, way better, as in simpler and easier than I anticipated. I'm so pleased with it. Running that cable through was easy, it really was. As you can possibly see, I'm continuing that through this ribbed wiring loom tubing, and I've run the bottom one already. I'm just working on the top one. It's not that far to go to the windlass where this will be terminating, and as I say, I've run one already along with the navigation lights, which will be on the port and starboard side of the front bow rail. I'm so pleased because, full confession time, from a kid I was very capable except for electrics. When it came to auto electrics, I was clueless, and I don't mind divulging and admitting that. Electrics per se, it's just something I've never understood. This is new territory for me. So if it looks like I'm stumbling along, it should. I understand that 12 volt low voltage systems, A, are simple, and B, are an entity unto themselves. I'm learning a lot and I'm trying to get on top of it. So feel free to point fingers and make comments to help me out. You know, I'm open when it comes to the electrics. I need to know what I'm doing here, and I need to understand what's going into Mistress, because once we get onto the high seas, it's going to be me and Mistress, and so it's something I really need to learn. It's a challenge that I am keen to learn about.
break me. No, no, nothing can break me. Look at the beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car.
What I did was, as you'll see here, I have taped the end of those string lines to the end of those conduits. Hopefully that's not going to be needed ahead. However, it's taped on there, as you can see, so should the need arise. This cable that you're seeing dangle down here, the 6mm squared wire, is the one that will go up and over across the coach roof into the port side of the V-berth locker to a junction box there where I'll run everything else from. The white cable there coming out, that's for the pulpit navigation lights. As you can see here, I've wrapped up that drawstring line, taped it up, and that can live there somewhere hidden behind the nav desk area cabinetry. It's there if required. What I wanted to say was, everything's possible. I really had no idea, and I'm having to learn. I'll show you what I did in terms of trying to lay everything out and get a handle on it, and how I was able to make a start. I know you probably can't see the detail on this, but I started with this fantastic book. From there, I made up a list of everything that I needed. Drew a schematic drawing to put together a rough diagram of where things needed to go, what I needed where. I got a hold of some charts to try and learn more about low voltage wiring and the sorts of cables or conductors that you need. And it's just a matter of persisting and making headway one step at a time, even less than one step. I did procrastinate on this because I was actually a bit overwhelmed by the fact that I really had no idea what I was doing. And it's been a great thing for me to learn, and also to just teach once again that anybody can learn anything. You just have to apply yourself. So go for it, people. Go for it. Now that I've got my head around this wiring, I can get on with putting the lining in on the hull. I've already well got underway the battens to be bolted right throughout the boat on the hull, getting all this insulation covered up, and then being able to start putting cabinets in. Fantastic. I really am looking forward to that. Also, just to say a big thank you to everybody that left comments, suggestions and tips with last week's video. I really appreciate you taking the time to send me your good information. So join me in the next episode, people, when that batten starts going in. I'm starting to accrue lots of little jobs. I think it's going to be time to go back and finish off all those little jobs. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell and share. I'd really appreciate that.
I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do.